All right. Welcome, friends on the internet. My name is Jack Droppers. I play Jack Droppers in the rock and roll band Jack Droppers and the Best Intentions. I'm here with my daughter Naomi, who you can't see. She's off camera. We were hoping that she would go down for a nap, but everyone at her house is presently sick, and she's in the constant loop of she can't fall asleep without her pacifier. But there's so much snot in her nose that she can't breathe when the pacifier's in. It's fun, isn't it? It's not any fun. I put out on the social medias different ways that you could ask questions for this sort of Q&A. I don't know if people still use the phrase Q&A or AMA, ask me anything. But either way, if you got questions that you'd like to add to this list of questions that I've got screenshotted from the Instagrams, you can put them in the chat. Talking about our new record, Dad Rock, which has been out for almost a month now. So I got a few versions of this question. One person asked, what is my favorite song on the record? Another person asked, what's the most moving song on the record for me? So I would say favorite, there's this, every song sort of feels like a baby, and I know that's pretty cliche to say, so it's a little hard to choose favorites, but I would say there's been a song on each record that I feel like encapsulates the sound of the band better than any of the other songs on the record. So for our first record, that song was Pigeon Hill. The second one was All the Same to Me Now, and on this one, it's New Holland. I feel like New Holland is really captures, when I think of the band and the sound of the band, that's really the sound that I think of is that sound. As far as the most moving one, Welcome to the Party was definitely the most moving one to record. In that, I don't think this has ever happened to me actually, where like I was crying while recording the lyrics, because we were recording it, a few maybe a month before Naomi was born, and sort of like the overwhelmingness of that all broke me down. I don't know that it's still the most emotionally charged one. Free is also a very moving song for me to sing, and part of it is like I get to sort of step away from the mic when Robert sings his part on that second verse, and can be incredibly moving to watch somebody else sing the song that we created together. Speaking of that, somebody asked, let's see if I can find it. Any future plans to include other artists? Robert rocks. Yes, he does. We're still in the writing process for the next record right now. I've got a ton of songs written. That doesn't mean that there's a ton of songs that we have that are ready for the record. Of the songs written, only one of them could end up on the record, and that wouldn't be abnormal. Sometimes we head in when we've got 20 songs and we whittle that down to 9 or 11 or whatever, how many of songs end up on the record. Sometimes we have 20 and we whittle it down to 2, and then we write all of the rest of them in studio. So I've got a lot of songs. None of them currently have plans to feature anyone. However, I've talked to Robert and said like, hey, we should do another track together, whether he's singing. Robert had this thing where a while ago where he really wanted to learn the cello, and I've got daydreams about him learning the cello and then having him sing and play the cello and do his like Jordan Hamilton thing. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Robert's got a ton going on in his life, and I don't think learning the cello is gonna be. But maybe we'll see. Robert, if you ever see this. So no future. Oh, we do have one thing, potentially a video later this summer that will feature another band that I'm partnering with, if that ever happens. All right, other questions. Let's see. Can you explain more about the recording process on this album and why it sounds so different? So that you can basically thank the wizardry of Jake Rye for that. So Jake Rye produced this record and has produced basically every indie rock record coming out of Michigan in the past year. He's a busy dude. And Jake we brought in Jake for this record because we really wanted that attention to detail that he provides. And his big thing is making sure everything's sort of on beat. We would record drums first with no other instruments there, and he, to the point where he's sometimes moving kick drum beats onto the one when they're at the like 1.3. And so some of that like really brings it in. The other thing is just he's a wizard with mixing, and Mike Cervantes, who does the mastering, is really great as well. And so they create sort of this big loud sound. I've heard from a few people, mostly middle-aged women, that my voice is more clear on them, and that's also thanks to Jake and just his mic locker. He has these incredible mics. A lot of it we recorded on this Neumann that he had just got, and then I think the first like the set of singles in the 3-on-3 EP was all on this like I don't know $5,000 Bach microphone. I don't know anything about microphones. I'm not like a gearhead by any means. But I know how to Google how much a microphone costs when I'm singing in front of it. And he's got some nice ones. So that you can thank that, and also just his process that he does. It's pretty minimal as far as effects go. And that's how we like it. We don't like things to be over compressed or over processed. We really want the voices of me and the bands to really do what they do live. Whereas our first record, I produced myself, which is why it sounds so bad. I sent it in to get mastered by Josh Kaufman, and he told me, I don't want my name attached to this because the mastering is so bad. Let me mix it for you, and then I'll master it. And then the second one, you can tell there's a drastic improvement because CalMink recorded that one. And sorry, I'm putting a pacifier back in. So CalMink recorded that one, and they obviously did a better job. But we were doing a lot of that record live. So Bottled Up With Me Online, which is this record, a lot of that is like keys, bass, my guitar, drums are all recording live, which we really like that feel. It sort of provides the live feel of the record. So anyways, who would win in the band in The Amazing Race? Ninja Warrior and Survivor. Great question. Survivor, so the game show Survivor would be different. If it was actual surviving, I would say Laura wins for sure, because she knows more about plants and animals than anyone that I know, and therefore would be really helpful. But in the game show Survivor, I feel like you don't actually need any survival skills. Oh, bless you. So I would say probably Devin, because Devin's the nicest person in the band. And I think that there's something about like, he's a hard worker, but he's also incredibly nice that people wouldn't want to vote him off the island. Amazing Race, or Ninja Warrior would definitely be Josh. Josh like runs a mile or two every day. He can jump over things that most of us can barely step over. He's a freak athlete. Amazing Race, though. So you need two people for Amazing Race. I would say probably me and Garrett would be the best, because I don't know this for the fact, but I'm pretty sure we're the most competitive in the band. And we were roommates for 3 years, and so I think that we have that in our favor, and we're just both stupid competitive. So I think that's why Garrett and I win that. Somebody asked, I don't know if this is a joke or not, but what comes first, lyrics or music? And then they asked again just about the songwriting process. So for me, I don't know that many people do it this way, but the way that I do music is I'm constantly writing. So the beauty of having this Apple telephone in my hand all the time is that I am on the road driving to work or just hanging out with Naomi, and I can hold her in one arm, and on the other arm I can hold up my voice memos app and just sing out a melody or a line. I have the notes app that I just will put, sometimes I will just start writing lyrics if I feel some inspiration. So like yesterday, I had a title for a song, And so I just wrote the title to the song, and you can sort of see it right here. I don't know if that will focus. Probably not. There you go. So I had this title, and I just wrote all of these lyrics, and you can't see that because apparently that doesn't show up. And then I went home after I'd written all these, and I put out my guitar, and I was like, all right, can I find a melody in here? So a lot of times for me, the title of a song will actually come up first, and I'll be like, all right, this is a fun title. Can I work that into something? A lot of times I'll just have this melody. I had this melody the other day that I was singing to Naomi, and I was singing baby gets a little kiss, baby gets a little kiss. She's my little lady, a very special baby, and therefore she gets a little kiss. And I would never put that on a record, but I really liked the melody, the sound of that. So I wrote this. I don't know. I wrote 5 or 6 verses with that melody going, and recorded it, and just sent the demo to the band a week ago. So sometimes it's like that. It happens quickly. Sometimes Glory Days Are Now, I had that melody and that phrase, the Glory Days Are Now, the da, 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 in my head for 2 years. That was a song that I think I tried to write for the second record, and that's all I had. I just had that melody. So I wrote probably 7 different versions, but I knew I wanted that to be at the end of the chorus and then have this big breakdown. And so finally I wrote a version of it that I was like, okay, this is passable, brought it to the band, and man, Devin's guitar solo and Josh's drum part on that, and then sort of that choir sound in the background really made that song into something I was like, oh, this actually meets, it's very different than the idea I had, but it meets it somewhere in the middle, and it's way better, I think, than what I would have done alone. I think there's 2 more questions. Who makes your music video? Music videos? It depends. Obviously, this is not a music video, but I'm doing this myself. Probably 50% of them I do myself. I've got a Canon that I record all this stuff on, and so you can probably tell because I'm not a wizard at video editing or those things. So the Your Mama music video I edited, but it was shot by some other folks, and you can tell that I edited it. James, who plays keys in the band, has done a ton of our music. So all the really great professional looking ones, James typically shoots. So New Holland, Florida Man, Found My Way, Hey Maria, all of those where James shoots and edits, and they look incredible. Every once in a while we got some friends that are just really, really good with the camera. So Your Mama was shot by a couple of former students of mine, Ethan and Henry, and they did just a wonderful job shooting that. And then I did a terrible job of editing it. And then, let's see, Nick Wawalda is another guy who's helped us out a ton. He edited the Magic video. James shot all that green screen footage. He edited it. He also did the video for Dog Years that we did. That sort of, it's all in one shot. Which, by the way, I don't know that I ever put this out on the internet, but when we shot the video for Dog Years, you can look, and it looks like I've got this tick, and Laura was really nervous about it after we shot it. She was like, Jack's doing this weird thing with his lip. I had just had surgery on my lip and had 8 stitches in my lip when we were filming that video. And you can tell I'm in so much pain when we're filming that. When you think about it, if you just look at the video, you're just like, oh, that's a weird guy. But in reality, I'm on the verge of tears and pain during the whole shoot. So Nick Wawalda has done a ton of great stuff for us. James has done way more than people know for us. We have a ton of footage that Stephen Panaggio, who's a friend of ours, shot on our way down to Austin. All of the Pyramid Scheme shows from our second album release show, all those videos are shot by Stephen and a team of folks, Corey Kearney and a couple other guys that I actually have never met in person. Final question. Can I find it? Okay, here we go. This person asked, what's coming up next? This is a question that I get every interview, so I'm glad you asked. My hope is that I can finish out these Tuesdays in the Tube. I get summers off from my job, so June and July are off, so hopefully we'll be having 2 more videos One of them is supposed to be a collaboration with a really fun band. So hopefully that'll come out. If you're how many minutes? 15 minutes into this, and you're actually watching it, I'll leak this little secret. We have another song coming out on the 30th of July called "A Driveway Liturgy" that I'm really excited about. Naomi is just yawning and grinning at me. So yeah, and we have some studio dates. We're gonna go in and we're starting to write for record number 4 or whatever's next. Currently, we don't have enough money to make a 4th record, but you know, things could change. We could. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get another stimulus check, so that won't change. The government funded a fair bit of this record, so hopefully we'll get some more shows. So if you're watching this presently or in the future and you're like, hey, we need an opening band for that thing, and it could pay Jack a couple $100, or you need a DJ for your wedding, which is another way how we're funding this record. I've got a DJ gig at a wedding, which I have to apologize ahead of time for. That's available. So yeah, that's what's coming up. New track coming out in a few weeks. It's a solo acoustic voice thing. It's just uber sad, and you're gonna love it, or you'll hate it, and that's okay. Anyways, thanks for the few of you that have tuned in during this. If you're watching, I really do appreciate that people actually watch these videos. They're a crap ton of work, but I really love it. And I know that, you know, sometimes it can feel invalidating when people don't care about a thing that you really love and you work really hard toward. And, you know, sometimes I'll put in 40 hours into a video, and, you know, 100 hours into the song for the video. And when people find this space for that in their life where they not only watch, but they're like, oh, this is great, I love this. Man, it means a ton, because I understand that artists, creators are in some ways in competition with film crews that are creating Doritos commercials that are also on YouTube. Yeah, you agree. And I know that we are less entertaining and have a budget of $0, whereas those Doritos commercials might have a budget of $1 million. And so anyone who offers their attention to a small band like us, man, it just means the world. So thank you so much for watching this, whether now or in the future, all of our videos. If somehow you've stumbled onto this video, this is not the most entertaining thing. I'm sorry if you get grossed out by sniffles and baby coughs, but that's the state of the Droppers house right now. So anyways, I will see you around the internet. Look out for another episode of Tuesdays on the Tube, which will feature a fun video next week. So anyways, see you there. Peace.